And we are live. Hey, folks, Jason Wilmot here. Today is Mastering Funnels podcast number 12, and today is September 13th, 2022. Hope you're doing well. Thank you to those folks who are watching me, and thank you to those folks who join me via the podcast and just audibly. So today is going to be one of those days where I am going to be sharing a bit of my screen. So if it's going to be helpful at some point to find your way to our YouTube channel and watch that. But what we're talking about today, kind of two different things. Really, I'm going to give you an update on TikTok and TikTok ads, what I've learned from running TikTok ads over these past few months, and some what's working, what's not. Then I want to give you a tool, free tool. All you have to do is go to jasonwilmot.me. And this is a TikTok UTM generator. So if you want to learn how to use dynamic UTMs in your TikTok campaigns, then this tool is for you. All you need to do is click through to my jasonwilmot.me page. You're going to find a link to that. It's a Google Sheet. All you got to do is go in and select file, copy something. I don't know. I'll do it here on the podcast live, and I'll show you how to do that. So, and then what we're going to be talking about towards the end here is Weberlo. So, I did a video a few weeks ago on advanced ad tracking. Perhaps you've heard about tools like Hyros or Weberlo, where essentially what you're trying to do is connect the very first click that comes to your website, and then connect that actually all the way in and integrate it with your Stripe account, so that what you're trying to do is understand this entire user journey from the first click to a purchase. So I want to talk to you a little bit about my experience with Weberlo, what I'm doing next, and then I also just want to show you how to set it up a little bit. That being said, today's podcast is not going to be as long. Got a late start on this today. Nonetheless, hopefully you can find it very, very valuable. So let's back up, shall we? So one of the things that I'm going to do here is, there we go, hide this, and then we're going to get started. So let's talk TikTok ads. So I remember starting off this podcast, episode 1 and 2, I definitely talked about TikTok ads. And we were talking, I think, a little bit about, what's best practice? What am I doing? What am I attempting? What am I learning? What's sort of the split testing that I'm doing? And what I want to do today is just give you a brief update on what I have found to be working and what I have found to not work. So let's talk strategy first of all. So what I'm going to do is talk about this in a couple different veins, right? So I have tried TikTok ads with e-commerce, and I have tried this with traditional lead-based funnels. And what I've found at the moment is it's much easier to train TikTok ads in the sort of lead-based funnel than it is for e-com, which I found surprising. Now, that said, the budget that I use for e-com is much, much smaller than I do for lead gen. And so in this case, we're primarily using TikTok ads for software companies and trying to get the word out there, and then driving them to a homepage or a landing page, trying to get them to opt in, and just have found really, really, really successful results there. One of the main reasons why we switched to TikTok, the very first I should say client that we switched to TikTok has an app around babysitting. And this person kept on running afoul of Facebook and Instagram because of the just the employment sort of special category that it fell in. So it was just not hitting everybody. So when you have an app for teenagers and you want to target them, when you're going to Facebook and Instagram ads, unfortunately, what you're going to find is that would fall into the employment category. And that is going to allow you to target everybody. You can't target specific genders. You can't target specific ages. So here we are running this campaign to teenagers, but it's going everywhere. And that was sort of the first indicator to me, at least my head was like, hey, we need to get on something new. And so I think this was at the end of 2021. And so what I've learned from that is TikTok absolutely works. It's a really cool platform. Obviously, I have quite a few issues about the privacy. Can't say enough about where I wish people would step in. There's very few people. I think, unfortunately, it is WYSIWYG in that you sign up and you get what you get, and you give away your information, and a lot of stuff happening in the background that I'm not exactly cool with. But at the same time, let's kind of step away from that, and let's just talk about sort of it as an ad platform for the remainder of this podcast. So after that SaaS client, then I've tried this on other SaaS clients as well. One of them has, I think we'll spend probably about $25,000 on TikTok ads alone this month on the platform. And what we found is the leads are coming in. Not only are they good leads, they're marketing qualified leads. They're closing deals with these. And I think at the moment we are either 1/6 or 1/7. The cost per lead is 1/6 or 1/7 of the price that we're paying on Facebook or Instagram. So again, we're actively scaling up TikTok as we continuing to see it work. So that is great news. So what's working on TikTok and what's not? Let's try that. Well, the first go around that I've made with TikTok ads is like, one of the most important things is like, you can't just take some ad that's for Facebook or YouTube and throw it on TikTok and hope that it will perform, because that's just not the case. The content and the creative there has to seem or appear native to TikTok. And so I think one of the best ways to create or to learn about TikTok, obviously, is to just go on TikTok, go learn about it, go get on the platform. If you don't like it on the mobile phone, if you aren't exactly enjoy giving away all of your data and everything like that, just visit it on desktop and have a little bit more safer experience that way. So, one thing that I noticed right away is that the creative needs to be specific for TikTok, and if it is specific for TikTok, then it's going to work, right? And we're talking here anywhere videos, I think from 7 seconds to 35 seconds to maybe a minute long. But what we are finding is generally in that 30 to 40 second range is really the sweet spot for TikTok ads. Now, one other thing that I should note is that we have moved exclusively, at least within our agency, to only recommending Spark ads, like only recommending Spark ads. So if you're unfamiliar with what Spark ads are, what they are is they are your content, but we're boosting the content. It's very similar to like a Facebook boosted post where, you put ad spend behind that post. It's going to continue to get a lot of social proof, a lot of comments. All of that is carrying over to the same thing on TikTok, right? Where you want all those you want that social proof on your ads. You want the views, you want the comments, you want the likes, you want everything on there, because that is going to make your ad better in the long run. So I think one of the things that we're kind of shifting away from is sort of this idea of dark posts or dark ads, where these ads just go out. People might see them, they might engage with them, but if they're not Spark ads and you turn these ads off, there goes all of your social proof. There goes everything. And so why not build the channel? Why not build the following at the same time? So that is why we've shifted to Spark ads. They're working. They keep the social proof, but they also give all of those views and all of the likes and all of the attention back to the original profile. So really what we found is it's very wise to be using Spark ads in our TikTok campaigns. And like I said, probably have run, I don't know, probably close to around $50,000 worth of testing, probably more than that, to be honest, probably in between $50,000 to $75,000 worth of testing ads on TikTok. And so no, that's not a ton of money. No, that's not a little bit amount of money. So just know that is where some of the evidence here is coming from. So, all right, so we've talked about Spark ads. I think one of the things that I do want to note is that retargeting is a little bit harder on TikTok. Still definitely seen it work, but the first attempt, what we tried is trying to go after people who viewed our videos, and there's audiences that are built around that, built audience around those who clicked on the videos, and I've built audiences built on people who've clicked the page view, or sorry, not clicked the page view, but have clicked through and created a page view on our landing pages, and as well as created events. And I've really struggled, honestly, to find something that absolutely works on the TikTok pixel for retargeting. But what I have found, I can tell you what is working, right? So and this might be like our accounts, or this could be your account. I don't know exactly what's going on here, but I think this is the day and age of what we're trying to do, is figure out this platform. So at the moment, if I'm trying to run retargeting ads, obviously you have to have an audience that you're running these ads at. And what we found is TikTok is just not really creating an audience off of people who've clicked through and visited our website, which seems crazy. Now that said, I did sort of take an approach of e-com on the SaaS or these SaaS funnels, where if they click through to the landing page, any page at all, what I did was I fired an event called viewed content. In an e-com store, this is somebody where somebody actually clicked through to your website, but then actually looked at a product. So there's a little bit higher intent there. That's not actually the case on these SaaS products. It's just they actually visited a page. But what we found is those audiences are all actually banking and they're creating and they're working inside of TikTok. So that's sort of the audience that we've gone to. The other sort of middle funnel, right? So that is more bottom funnel because we have to think wide when it comes to these TikTok audiences because they need to be 1,000 people or larger. So the sort of middle funnel where we are is those people who have visited our profile. So they've clicked through, they've visited the profile. So we're kind of treating that as sort of a middle of the funnel sort of audience. Again, so we've got top of funnel where what I've learned is to go after hashtags, and hashtags have been very, very, very useful for us, a little bit more useful than interests. Now, I can't say that that is going to hold true for you, but what I would do is I'd start with a campaign. And then what I would do is have a couple different ad groups in there, but I would make sure that you're including hashtags as far as some of that targeting. Maybe the other ad group would be hashtags plus expanded audience. But what we found is hashtags are working incredibly well when compared to interests. So we're, running a lot of different experiments at the moment. I can't tell you what is best. I can tell you what is working best, and that is hashtag based targeting there. So, all right, let's kind of shift gears here. What I want to do in today's podcast is I want to shift towards this tool that I use. So I spend a lot of time talking about tracking because I think it's just something that people don't talk about enough, but two, it is the underlying principle that everything that we do is tracked. I answer to clients and I answer to myself, obviously around data. Our team looks at data. We want to make decisions based upon data. And one of the best ways that we can take data from some group or some platform like TikTok and pass it into our systems, whether it's Salesforce or whether it's Google Analytics or whether it's Marketo or anything that we're doing, the best way to do that is through UTMs. And so what I want to do is I want to share a UTM generator with you. So I'm going to share my screen here. I'm going to show you exactly how this works. So let's share our screen. And away we go. So in front of you, what you'll see is a Master Funnels TikTok UTM generator. So if you want this is absolutely free. All you need to do is go to either the link that you see right now, jasonwilmot.me, or it's in my bio somewhere. You can click through and you can just find this for absolutely free. I will not grant you access to this. All that you need to do is go to File, make a copy, and then it will be yours. So this is it. This is as easy as it goes. So what you're going to find when you're using a tool like this is you want to pass through the name of your campaign, your ad group, and your ads. You just want to through all the way to your Google Analytics. Now, this is similar to Facebook dynamic parameters or custom parameters when you're putting those UTM pieces inside of Facebook. Well, this is even easier. All you need to do is just use this little formula that I have here. So I just go in, and the source I name TikTok. The medium could be ads, or it could be CPC or cost per click. And then I just put in the landing page, and that's it. I go here, I click copy, and that is everything that I. So if I click through on this, what you'll see up here is you're going to start seeing these parameters that I have. So there's my source, TikTok, there's my medium, there's my campaign. Now you see campaign name, CID, and you should say AID. Now, what that is doing is that is pasting through the name of the campaign, the name of the creative, and the name of the ad group. Now, one thing that I should note here is this actually sends it in backwards, where they send the ad or the ad group name in at the term level and the creative at the content level. So that is flipped in what I normally teach, but I've tried to flip this myself and it just didn't pass. So maybe it will pass in the future. Maybe if you're watching this, try to flip them around. But what we've just realized is, hey, it's worth it, even if it's backwards at the content and the term name. It's worth it to even just pass this through because of how much time that it saves. So you'll see that this is the little piece that is just passed to us. This is provided from TikTok. So that's just on every single ad that we do. So all that we need to do is just add our source, the UTM medium, and then we put in our landing page right here. And this is the link that you'll copy. So what I do from time to time is I just copy and paste. And if I'm just going to, let's just say HACKTICS, or let's just say that I'm going to retargeting IQ, I could just go there. I'll copy that. And then this is the URL piece in in the ad. Hey, I know that guy. So that is how to use this TikTok UTM generator. Again, it's free. All that you need to do is just visit jasonwilmot.me. You'll find it right there, and you can just have that for free. Again, the purpose of a UTM generator, obviously, is to pass your data from your click all the way into your Google Analytics, and that is going to give you a lot of information as far as what campaign, which ad group, which creative ad is actually moving the needle for your business. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to move back, and I'm actually going to share this one more time. So the last thing that we're going to talk about today is Weberlo, and this is a sort of an advanced version of UTMs. And so what you've done right here, what I've just shown you, is how to connect a click and pass that information all the way through into your Google Analytics. And why do you want to do that? Because you care about ROI, you care about data, you care about passing that information through, maybe into Salesforce, so that you can understand where that lead, that client, or that customer came from. Now, that is awesome. And again, this is something that I've just taught, and I've worked with major brands, major companies, teaching their companies how to do this, because the data is worth it, because the data is valuable. So what I've shown you is how to connect that click. So if they click on that Spark ad on TikTok and they go to your website and they perform some action, you can follow them all the way through, and you can understand your conversion rate optimization, which is your main indicator, or should be your main indicator, for everything when it comes to growth. Now, that said, I know something that is very important to growth, and that is revenue. So how do we take revenue and connect it to clicks? Well, up until a few years ago, that was very, very hard to do, because you didn't have this ability to pass this information all the way through into something else. So what I just showed you is how to pass your click data into Google Analytics. But consider this. What if that person actually signs up? What if they buy from you? What if they come to your website through that TikTok ad, they leave, they come back organically, and then they buy, right? Your Google Analytics would say that that person came in directly, and that there would be no attribution to your TikTok ad. Or consider this. What if that person saw you on TikTok, they click and they mess around on your website, they're interested, but they don't buy, they leave, they see your retargeting ad on Facebook, then they come in back into your store or into your website, they opt in or they buy, and then Google Analytics is going to say, oh, well, this person came from Facebook. Well, what you're trying to do is you're trying to just build this whole story, this journey, and that's what I want to show you today. So how do you connect this first click with every other individual click along the way? And then how do you pass that information into something like Stripe so you know where your customers are coming from? Well, that is what I'm going to show you today with this tool called Weberlo. So let me share my screen here, and I'll get started. So here we are. So Weberlo is something that I came across in AppSumo. No, there's no affiliate link for this. I have no links. What I'm doing is just putting this content out because I think people will find it valuable. And Chris, this video is for you, actually. Chris, I don't know who you are, but Chris commented on my YouTube, on a YouTube post not that long ago, asking about Weberlo. Hey, can you explain Weberlo in a little bit better way? And so what I want to do with this last 10 minutes of this podcast is just show you how to set something up as far as Weberlo. So this is their website at the moment. And again, it is on AppSumo at the moment. I think there's a lifetime deal. I think it's $70 or $80 to my mind. That is a no-brainer, especially when there's a 60-day return policy. So go ahead and check it out. Maybe I can throw the link in the description of this. But basically what we have here is we have this ability to track sales. So what we can see inside of Weberlo is we can understand where our sources are coming from, where people are filling out our forms, where people are placing their orders. And then ultimately we're trying to wrap that back to sales. So I think the way to show this though is actually from all the way over here to the right. So really, Weberlo is not going to teach you that much information aside from where that buyer is eventually coming from, right? So Google Analytics has a lot of good information on your UTMs, where they're clicking, the conversion rate, all of that stuff. And it will also have your revenue. So why do you need something like Weberlo? Well, Weberlo, what it will do is it will take that purchase and it'll allow you to just backtrack everything from there. So you can know that user journey and you can know that email. So you can see how this person is behaving on your website. And ultimately, you're going to understand more about your customers and you're going to give them a better experience because of that. So this is the main thing that I want to just show. That is the very most important part about all of this, is because it's going to integrate with your Stripe. And so when that person becomes a customer, then after that, what you can do is you can understand this user journey that they were on to become your customer. Now, this said, I'm not going to give raving reviews for the e-commerce side of this. I am on support still with Shopify. Sorry, not with Shopify. I'm support with Weberlo to get this working on Shopify. And unfortunately for them, I know that they're swamped right now, so that I'm going to give them a lot of grace, but they haven't been very responsive. They did ping me back a few days later saying, hey, do you still need help? I said yes, and then they're going to dive back into it. But the response was pretty slow. But again, I think this is a small startup. I think that they're trying to do a growth hack by getting on AppSumo. And so I just want to say, hey, I totally get it. They probably have more important people than me. They probably have other people just bombarding them. I think it's important to understand that humans are humans and that they're probably swamped right now. So good for you. Good that you're swamped. Hopefully that the swamping will help you just create a better product and you have more revenue coming towards you. So shout out to Weberlo. Not upset at all about the customer service, but just did want to say that the Shopify piece, the app itself, was not working at the time of this recording. So I'm sure that there's some probably fixes there. So as far as the next thing, what I want to do is show you configuration. And this is why you need to understand what UTMs are and how to use them. Because what you're trying to do in this tool like Weberlo or in Hyros or whatnot is you're allowing this click data to come in, but what you're trying to do is you're trying to set up these rules. So if the source equals this, or if the medium includes these words or the string of characters, then I want you to continue to track this. So what I mean by that is this. So in here, I have for TikTok ads. If I want to track TikTok ads in Weberlo, what I need to do is I just need to set up what the name is, but then I have to go down and understand the logic that we're going to be using. So the UTM source equals TikTok ads and the UTM medium equals ads. This has to be true in order for Weberlo to give credit to TikTok. Now, what you saw earlier is I changed this to CPC. So what you could do is you could either go in and you can update this. Let me see if I can add another condition. UTM equals. So I could use both, or I could just get rid of these and I could just do UTM source equals TikTok ads. So, but you see, I only have TikTok in here. So I have to be like kind of careful of what I'm doing and why I'm doing this. Now, again, in Mastering Funnels, quick plug to myself for Mastering Funnels and HACKTICS, I show you how to think about UTMs. And I think that is the very important part about doing this. Not only do I do it, I show you where to inject your data, how to find it, and use it across several platforms. But this is the point that I want to just try to highlight. It is good to understand how to use UTMs, not just for tracking clicks into Google Analytics. You can see that a lot of these other platforms are built upon this logic that I've been trying to teach and preach. And again, if you want to learn how to use these UTMs, obviously, you can go through Mastering Funnels, you can go to YouTube, but it's just, it seems a little kind of tricky at first until you understand this. And then once you understand it, it becomes absolutely powerful. So again, what you're trying to do in this configuration portion is match up how you are currently using your UTMs. And so that Weberlo knows how to then go in and capture these. So when clicks come in with those UTMs, Weberlo is starting to track. Otherwise, it's just going to go all into like other or referral. It's just not going to catch what you're trying to do. So again, you just have to be careful about what you're setting up here. If you just want to go simple, you just dial it down to source, right? Source equals Facebook_ads. Last week, I talked a little bit about consolidating UTM information, especially in the day of G4. And so maybe you just want to change everything in here to TikTok_ads, and then that will be your catch-all for Weberlo. Okay. What I'm going to do next is just show you Journey. So what I want to do is I want to be careful here because I'm just going to stick this on visitors because this will be completely, this will be completely anonymous. Now, what you see here is me. This was me, I believe. Right. So Tuesday, September 17th, they did a retargeting IQ. They came from TikTok ad CPC. So yeah, that was just me. So what you're going to see over here in this visitors, so you have visitors, you have leads and you have customers. Some customers who have actually paid you money, that transaction has occurred in Stripe, and then you're going to see those customers in here. These leads are people who filled out forms or downloaded something. So I'm just going to stick to visitors because everything is going to remain anonymized in here. So what you're going to see, though, this is what I mean by you're starting to see this pieced together. So it looks like I clicked on my own Twitter ad or Twitter or my post last week because I was testing something on Publer. That's the tool that we use to publish. And so then I was looking at something else yesterday, and then I went into this is my click that I had today. So you can see like this is capturing the date, it's capturing the time, it's capturing what pages that I'm looking at. But for all of you privacy people out there saying, hey, this is terrible, like, no, this doesn't, this is going to show my IP is not my actual IP. That's my internet service provider. So what you're going to see here, though, is what these people came in and what they looked at. So I don't know who this is, but they came in. This looks like it's a student because they're coming in and they're looking at all of the, they're in the library, they're logging in. Looks like they bought something. Looks like they watched a few, webinars. So this is what you can do. And obviously this is kind of the category here. So let's look at this last one. This person just came in directly, looked at mastering funnels, and looks like this is a student as well because they logged in here. So yeah, that's that. What you're trying to do, I think that to recap, the most important thing to do is you're trying to tie this click data to revenue. And that has been a problem that a lot of folks have just tried to solve lately. And so what this is going to do is this integration piece connects it to Stripe, connects to your WordPress or something else. I've only tried Stripe and Shopify. Shopify, again, at the time of this recording is not working. So get that fixed. So this does work for Stripe. You saw the revenue in there earlier. So it is collecting that data. The other thing, though, to understand is really how to make this work is by understanding how to use UTMs. And so if your UTMs, if you have a strategy there or an architecture, great. If you don't have one, go through my Mastering Funnels training. It will show you how to think about it. It'll use the one that I use. I've been using it for years. It'll give you diagrams. It'll give you everything that you need to know in order to start using UTMs. So as these UTMs are coming into your website, this is capturing those UTMs. And it's kind of putting them in the right spot. But where this gets very interesting is on this journey side, where you can dial this into your visitors, your leads, or your customers, and you can see exactly what these people are doing, the pages that they went to, the dates that they came in on, and you can start to understand the visitors or how visitors behave versus how leads and customers behave. And again, if you want to use this for your own website, great. If you want to use this for your clients as well, then that gives you kind of communication between you and your clients. All of a sudden you're talking about data and you have this wonderful resource where you can then, have conversations based upon data and real life revenue versus like, hey, I think it came from here. I think it's working here. Hopefully we can just remove that think word from a lot of the things that we're doing, especially if we're spending other people's money. So, all right, that is that. Okay. I did go over a little bit on time, and so I'm going to end this here today. But to recap, what we did is we talked a lot about TikTok ads, what's working and what's not. Again, it's Spark ads all the way. Having a lot of success on Spark ads at the moment. We're seeing CPMs that are ridiculously low compared to other platforms, and we're just spending more money every single week, both ourselves as well as our clients. We talked about UTMs, how to use UTMs. Again, if you want a free TikTok UTM generator to follow your click data all the way through to your analytics, then just click through probably on this video or to jasonwilmot.me. That stands for me. And you will have access to that absolutely free TikTok UTM generator. All you need to do is go to File, make a copy, and it is yours. Last, we talked about Weberlo. Again, it is still on AppSumo, so go get it. Go get your hands on a lifetime discount. I think it's a super effective tool, even if it's at early stages. And shout out to Chris. Thank you, Chris, for asking this question on how to use Weberlo. I hope this video was helpful. And if you have any questions beyond that, just shoot me a comment like you did on the last video, and then we will make another one. So that all said, thank you to those people who are watching today. Thank you to those who joined, and thank you to those who are listening. And also thanks to those who watched after the fact, like Chris. If you, like Chris, have a question or a comment or something that you would like a further explanation on, go ahead and drop it anywhere that you see it. We cut this podcast up and put it on LinkedIn. We put it on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everywhere on Twitter. So if you see it somewhere, go ahead and write a comment below. And what we can do is I'll read that and I will make a video about it if I feel like it will help the community. Anyways, want to thank you guys for joining me today. Thank you for all the questions. Hopefully this is a helpful solution for you there, Chris. And yeah, thanks for tuning in and thanks for listening. I really, really appreciate it. All right, guys, take care of yourselves, be kind to one another, and we will see you next week.